Stan Bharti is a professional mining engineer, business consultant, international financier, and seasoned entrepreneur. And he has more than 30 years professional experience in business, finance, markets, operations, and more. And the focus that he's doing lately has been on mining, agriculture, and energy sectors. And Stan is here to talk more about what you're seeing in these areas. So let's start with, when I hear about mining and agriculture, I kind of think of renewable energy and how that's been such a big trend lately, and farming and meatless meat. And I mean, what are some of the things you're seeing?
Well, listen, the first thing I'm seeing is I'm seeing a huge shift in the next 2 to 3 years into hard assets, which means not just agriculture, but also the mining assets, gold, real estate, because for the last 10 to 12 years, this environment we're living in of low interest rates, it's not sustainable. So it's been a long time. Today you can, you can put your money, you can borrow money at 2-3%, and you can get a 10-12% return in the market. So that spread is very big. So slowly that'll shift as smart money realizes that there's going to be a shift coming and it'll go into hard assets. So that's the thing. And within the hard assets, and let's talk about agriculture a little bit. For example, the world is going from 7 billion to 10 billion people in the next 20 years, 25 years. Very little arable land left in the world, as we know. For example, the largest amount of arable land left in the world is in Brazil. US has some left, India has none, for example. So these countries, as they grow, making food and food security will become a big issue. So we're very focused on that. We have one of the largest operations in Brazil in fertilizers. We're expanding into it now. And that's because Brazil is the bread basket of the world in many ways. Over 50% of the seaborne trade in agriculture comes from Brazil, whether it's soybeans, whether it's corn, whether it's beef, whether it's chicken, huge. And so that industry, I think, is very exciting in the next 10 years.
Well, I think what you're saying is music to the energy industry and the agriculture industry, because boy, it's been a tough couple of years. Natural gas prices are way low. We've got so much shale out there. The farmers are dealing with the trade crisis with China. I mean, I'm sure they would love to have some relief from all these pressures they've been under.
The shift will come. I mean, the fundamentals are all there. And always, when gold is moving up, as you see, it was about $1,200. And the last 3 years, gold stocks were just dead.
Gold's been doing really well this week.
Yeah, and so gold prices and now gold stocks are starting to move. So I think we'll see 2020 as the first asset class that moves up is gold. And following that, we'll see, the agriculture, other resources moving up. And you're right, it's been a tough 2 or 3 years for all of us in this.
Yeah, I mean, because there's probably some great, undeveloped companies and some duds out there. So what do you look for to make sure you get the right investment?
So if we talk specifically about gold, we generally look for advanced, first of all, we look for projects that there is already a resource or a reserve there. Then we also look for how advanced the project is. And then typically, we only invest in projects as a merchant bank that we manage and control. We're very rarely passive investors because in the junior gold space, as it is, it's fairly volatile. 9 companies out of 10 will probably go nowhere. So to build a company and unlock the value, you really need to put a good management team, work closely with the local communities, and also be able to market. So we do that quite well.
I was doing a little reading, Brazil Potash. So fertilizer also, so some of these kind of extraneous businesses in agriculture too have potential.
Well, so to give you the math on Brazil, Brazil is the largest exporter of agriculture products, but it's also the largest importer of potash. And when you look at fertilizer, the 3 main ingredients in fertilizer is potash, nitrogen or urea, and phosphate. So Brazil imports 10 million tons of potash a year. And the potash market today is really dominated by a big Canadian giant in Canada and then Russian, Belarusian giants. So they export all that potash from these countries via rail, via port to Brazil. And so one of the projects we've done is we've identified a very large potash basin in Brazil, in the state of Amazonia. And this basin, we're in the advanced stages of developing it. We expect to be in production in the next 2 to 3 years, and we will supply 20 to 30% of Brazil's potash needs. We believe that with the blockchain evolution, there should be a platform for carbon credits. One of the things that I'm working on, investing on now, is launching the world's first carbon token, crypto token, that can quantify when one factory has carbon credits, it goes on the blockchain, another has deficits, goes on the blockchain, and they trade through this token. We call it GEAR, Green Energy and Renewables. So we're hoping that'll be one of the big things of the 21st century, the next decade, when people will start using this token to quantify and to be able to, if you like, not cheat on the carbon credits.
Yeah, well, and blockchain can do a lot for agriculture. We can trace the food quicker, we know where it comes from, stop the recalls. I mean, there's a lot of applications in these industries.
Very big in that. And you know, for example, it's not just in agriculture, but it's also in mining. For example, we have a company called Fura Emeralds. We have a mine in Colombia. It's emeralds, green emeralds we mine there. We also have some projects in Mozambique. So we've on these Fura Emeralds now put the first genetic footprint using blockchain. There was an article in Bloomberg about it. So we can track where this emerald came from, what mine, what project, who worked on it, and the whole chain until it's sold to the customer. So if when you're buying an emerald, you will know, okay, this has been cleanly, environmentally properly done. There was no child labor, all that stuff.
Right, not lab created.
Not lab, that's
Yeah.
important too, because you know, Colombian emeralds are some of the most beautiful in the world, these green emeralds.
Wow, really interesting. Thank you so much, Stan, for coming in.
Thank you, pleasure.
Interesting. And thank you as well for joining us. We'll be right back.